Hi guys, today we are on pages 11 and 12. We skipped pages 9 and 10. We're just going to go to 11 and 12. And we're going to talk about scale factors and dilations today. So go to page 7 and, or excuse me, 11 and 12 in your notes. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off with just like a little intro. Harold and his friends went to Wizards Camp where they took a class on spells and potions. The group tried several potions that could either cause you to grow or shrink based on the scale factor of the potion. Fill out the table below to show the effect of the potions had on Harold and his friends. Okay, so we have 6 people. We have different scale factors. Okay, so someone that was 60 inches to start off with took a potion scale factor that was 1/2. So the process was take 60, times it by 1/2, and the new height of the person was 30 inches. So then we ask ourselves, did it grow or did it shrink? So we'll do a couple more, and then you guys will do some. So this person is 64 inches, and they took a potion that would do a scale factor of 3. So we're going to do 60 times 3. Okay, so 60 times 3 is 180 inches. Okay, comparing that to the original person, 64. Okay, so 64 times 3 is 192. Compare that from the original person, and this person grew. Okay. All right. Another person was 56 inches, and their scale factor potion was 1/8. Okay. So when we multiply that, we get 7 inches. So when we compare the person who was 56 and now they're 7 inches, they shrink. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys about, I want you guys to try these problems. Okay. All right, for the next one, we have 58 inches with a scale factor of 2.5. Which would be 145 inches, which would be a growth. Okay, next person was 60 inches, and they took a scale factor that was 0.4, which would be 24 inches. So comparing, it looks like they shrank. And then the final one, 62 inches, and their scale factor was 3/2. And get 93 inches. So compared to that, they grew. All right, describe in your own words how you calculated the new height after each potion. So we took the starting height and we multiplied by this scale factor. So we took the starting height and we multiplied by the scale factor potion. Okay, list scale factors that caused Harold and his friends to grow. So grow, 3, 2.5, and 3/2. Okay, list scale factors that caused Harold and his friends to shrink. 1/2, 1/8, and 0.4. Okay. All right. So what do you think would happen if someone drank a potion with a scale factor of 1? Well, if we multiply anything by 1, it stays the same, so they would probably stay the same. All right, let's go to page 12. All right, so we're talking about scale factors and talking about this, starting this conversation of dilating and making things bigger and smaller. So scale factors is a ratio of the corresponding sides of a figure. Okay, so this ratio could be considered comparing the new to the original, or the image to the pre-image, or something like I've been using is the after to the before. Okay, so if a scale factor is larger than 1, it will enlarge something. So when we look back at page 11, all of these numbers enlarged it, and so all of those numbers were larger than 1. Okay, if the scale factor is less than 1, it will reduce the figure. So all these numbers were smaller than 1, and it made all of them smaller. So we're going to start talking about dilations. Dilations are the geometric word for making things bigger or smaller and with transformations. So a dilation is a transformation that either enlarges or reduces the size of a figure. And the way we did that is we took the starting amount and we multiplied by the scale factor. So what we're doing is we multiply by the scale factor. Okay, so we have these 3 problems. We have the dimensions of these rectangles, and we are going to multiply by various scale factors. So we have a 15-inch by 35-inch rectangle, and we want to dilate this by a scale factor of 2/5. First, I can just know that this is going to make it smaller, so I'm going to write reduce just to know that, okay, because it is less than 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 15 times 2/5, and I'll get 6. So this would become, I'm going to kind of make a little smaller rectangle. This would make 6. Okay, then I'm going to do 35 times 2/5. Guys, and I get 14. So the new dimensions would be 6 inches by 14 inches. And when I compare them, you can definitely tell that that has reduced the size of them. All right, next one, we have a 10-inch by 22-inch rectangle, and we want to multiply it by a scale factor of 3.5. So just knowing that this number is larger than 1, it's going to make it large. It's going to enlarge the picture. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 times 3.5, and I get 35. Guys, stop. Sorry, guys. Okay, then I'm going to do 22. Brogan! Times 3.5, and I get 77. Okay, so the new dimensions of this rectangle is 35 inches by 77 inches. Again, I noticed that they are larger because the scale factor enlarged them. Okay, number 7, we have a 24-inch by a 30-inch rectangle, and we want to dilate this by a scale factor of 5/3. Again, if I just notice this number is larger than 1, so it should enlarge the rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 24 times 5/3. And I get 40. Okay. And then I'm going to take 30 and multiply by 5/3, and I get 50. So the new dimensions would be 40 inches by 50 inches. Again, I notice that this has enlarged it. Okay, so the real thing for today is understanding how to calculate the scale factor. Okay, so that is using this ratio right here, the new to the original, no, the image to the pre-image, or the after to the before. So first we have this triangle, HGI, and it gets transformed into H prime, G prime, I prime. Again, the tick marks show me the after. So this is the before, and this is the after. So to find this scale factor, we just have to write the ratio. Okay, you have to pick one side. So I'm going to pick this side. I'm going to go from H to I, and I have to go to its corresponding side. So I have to also go to H to I. So I'm going HI, which is 8, and H prime, I prime, which is 10. Now I'm going to write that as a ratio, and I just have to make sure I write it as the after to the before. Okay, so this is 10 compared to 8. Okay, now I'm going to simplify a 10 to 8 ratio as 5 to 4. Okay, I notice that this number is larger than 1, and then when I compare the picture, it looks right because it enlarged, or it made it bigger. All right, so this last one, Okay, this XYZW is the before. X prime, Y prime, Z prime, W prime is the after. Okay, I noticed that it got smaller, 18 to 12. So keep that in mind that it should be a number smaller than 1. Okay, and then we have to find corresponding sides. So XW is a side that tells me, but it doesn't actually tell me X prime, W prime. So I'm going to use the top because the top has both numbers. It has XY and it has X prime, Y prime. Okay, then the only other thing is I have to make sure I do my after over my before as my ratio. So I'm going to do 12 over 18. Then I'm going to simplify by 2 and get 6 over 9. Then I notice that I could probably simplify by 3 and get 2/3. So my scale factor is 2/3. Okay. For today, there is, I think, 6 problems on Delta Math, just practicing scale factors and understanding the basic concept.